Hello and welcome back to my League One predictions. This time it is for Game Week 2, of course. It all starts tomorrow night with Port Vale taking on Cardiff City. We'll jump into that shortly. Let me know your predictions down below for this upcoming match day. Who do you think is going to win and who do you think is going to have a horrible weekend this weekend? So yeah, let's just dive straight into my Game Week 2 League One predictions. So we'll start, as I said in the intro, with Port Vale taking on Cardiff City. This one could be a bit of a surprise effect on this one due to Port Vale being under the lights at Vale Park, and they've lost their previous game to Rotherham away. Cardiff did beat Peterborough at home after coming from behind in that game. Cardiff's coach, who is it? I believe it is Brian Barry Murphy, ex-Man City coach, of course, ex-under 21 under 18s coach for Manchester City. So yeah, this is going to be a tight one to call. Thursday night under the lights can be a difficult game. I don't know why Sky do this under the lights on a Thursday. What's the point? Just wrecks the fans' weekends, really. They've got nothing to go and watch. Thursday isn't really a weekend game. Port Vale losing to Rotherham, bit unlucky in that one. The amount of stats they showed. Cardiff beat Peterborough, as we've already stated. Last time they played in a head-to-head was back in 2014. It was a League Cup match, and Cardiff City won that by 3-2. I'm going to back Cardiff in this one quite comfortably. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Cardiff away win at Port Vale in this one, and them to get over the line. So yeah, back in Cardiff City to get over the line over Port Vale by 2-0 here. Now we go to the Western Home Stadium where Peterborough United will take on Luton. Peterborough having a really, really tough start facing two of the relegated sides, or probably two of the best relegated sides in Cardiff and Luton. Yeah, Barry Fry and his ownership will be wanting probably to get a bit further up the table than last season, maybe challenge for playoffs, who knows. But they did look competitive in that first game at Cardiff, considering Cardiff are one of the promotion favourites. Last time, actually, we'll mention Luton quickly, beating 1-0 Wimbledon in that game. Very scrappy game of football, traditional opening day nerves, you would imagine. But are they going to bounce back? I'm not so sure. Yeah, 1-1 draw back in April 2022, and Luton won that by 3-0 in 2021. Both games were under Nathan Jones when he was taking control of that team. It was 4-0 before that at Kenilworth Road. This is a different kind of game, though. Matt Bloomfield in charge. Luton didn't really look like they've changed a lot from last season. But yeah, I think Peterborough actually might be well drilled. Home bounce at home, first home game of the season for Peterborough. I could definitely think they could win this, and I'm going to back it. I'm going to back Peterborough to beat Luton here. Maybe a surprise, I know, but Peterborough usually can be okay at home. I just think Luton is still that Wimbledon result really didn't convince me any much that they were going to do anything this season, and maybe they can challenge for promotion. But yeah, I'm backing Peterborough by 2-1 in this one, just because yeah, Luton just looked a bit shaky in that opening game. Peterborough looked really good at Cardiff, and if Peterborough play like that against Cardiff, then they're going to beat Luton here quite comfortably at home. So yeah, backing Peterborough to win by 2-1. And the other game that is on at 12:30 is Reading taking on Huddersfield. Reading losing to Lincoln City on opening day by 2-0. On the other hand, Huddersfield beat Leyton Orient 3-0 and quite finally demolished them as well, didn't they? So yeah, Huddersfield looked really, really good on opening day and looking like they could definitely push for those automatic spots next season, or this season. Why am I saying next season? We're in this season now. Last two times these have played was in League One last season, and Reading got the 2-1 win, of course, and then Huddersfield 0, Reading 0 in February. They did play each other in playoff final. That was 0-0, I believe, and Huddersfield won that on penalties with David Wagner in charge, and that is when Huddersfield had their short stint in the Premier League. Both sides in League One now. I think Huddersfield will just get over the line in this one. I'm going to back the away side for 2-1 away victory in this one. And yeah, I think Huddersfield will just get over the line in this one over Reading and beat them by 2-1. And now the first game, home game, back in League One for AFC Wimbledon as they take on Lincoln City. Lincoln will be quite optimistic heading into this one after they did beat Reading quite comfortably in that game, and yeah, deserved winners over Reading. Reading are still a decent side at this level, even with the money issues that they do have, or ownership issues. So there was a good win at the LNER Stadium and at home for Michael Scabala's side. Wimbledon losing to Luton Town. Unluckily, they're trying to get the draw. They almost got a draw, but a silly own goal from Johnson let that slip. Of course, two times the side play was back in League One 21-22. Wimbledon won at the LNER, and then Lincoln beat Wimbledon back at their place. So I am probably going to back Lincoln in this one just because they beat Reading. Wimbledon did lose to Luton, didn't they? And it wasn't a very good performance. I'm going to back Lincoln City in this one to get over the line. I'm going to go for another 2-0 away win, and this one time for Lincoln City over Wimbledon. And yeah, I think Johnny Jackson's side might be in a bit of bother this season if things continue. So yeah, back in Lincoln to score. Win by 2-0, and Wimbledon continue to have scoring problems. Barnsley take on Burton now at Oakwell. Perfect start for Conor Hurahan and Barnsley by beating Plymouth Argyle by 3-1 last week, and with 10 men for the second half of that match. Burton also did win. They also beat Mansfield, Gary Bay's side, beating Nigel Clough's Mansfield in that one. So yeah, very good starts for both of these sides. Burton will be looking to just try and probably stay up again this season, but maybe Garibaldi has different ideas. As for Barnsley, very, very good away win. Can they potentially push it for the playoffs? I'm not so sure. But yeah, on the 1st of February, this was a 0-0 draw, quite a dull affair. Barnsley did beat them back in September 2024. So, yeah, I think Barnsley should get over the line in this one over Gary Bowyer's side, but never rule out Burton away from home or even at home, because they are a very, very difficult side to beat now. He's got them all drawn, has Gary Bowyer. So, I think Barnsley are just going to win this, in my opinion. I'm just going to back them by 2-1, only narrowly for Barnsley in this one. I think it'd be a really tight game of football, this one. But yeah, I think Barnsley will just get over the line by 2-1. And now two sides will be looking to bounce back after game week 1, and that is Bolton and that is Plymouth. Bolton losing to Stockport 2-0 on Sunday. Of course, not a very, very good performance from Stephen Schumacher and his side, although they did create a few chances in that game. Similar to Plymouth, they lost to 10-man Barnsley. Plymouth don't think they are going to be the greatest this season, even though me included, to tip them up in the playoffs. Maybe I should have put them a bit further down than that. Yeah, losing to Barnsley on the opening day and then conceding to 10 men as well. Not really, really good opening day for Plymouth. Similar to Bolton, Stephen Schumacher's got to get them playing football properly. Last two times these sides did play in League One was a 0-0 draw, and Plymouth did beat Bolton 2-0. They also played in the EFL Trophy final, and Bolton absolutely thrashed them by 4-0. So yeah, I think Stephen Schumacher was on the receiving end of that 4-0 loss at Plymouth that time around. This one's at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. I think I'm actually just going to bet Bolton in this one, just because I think Plymouth have had a horrible start. I think it might continue here. So yeah, I'm going to bet Bolton. I'm going to go big for Bolton this one. I'm going to go 3-1 to Bolton Wanderers in this one. And yeah, them to beat Plymouth quite comfortably, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm backing Bolton to win this by 3-1 over Plymouth Argyle. Now into Exeter City taking on Blackpool. Both sides that lost on the opening day. A reminder for Blackpool how competitive this league will be when they lost to Stevenage by 3-2, as Exeter City lost to Doncaster Rovers 1-0. Last two times these sides played in League One last season was a 3-1 win for Blackpool at St Joseph Park, and then back at Bloomfield Road was a 2-1 home win for Blackpool. I think Blackpool could do the same again. Exeter haven't won a head-to-head against Blackpool in a long time. It's not even on their football here. So yeah, that is quite surprising. Yeah, I think this would be a tight game to call this one. I think Blackpool might just edge this one, in my opinion. I am going to back Blackpool in this one, just to beat Gary Caldwell's side. I think Steve Bruce has the know-how and still knows how to win these games in this league when he wants to. So yeah, I'm going to back Blackpool in this one by 1-0. I think it'll be very, very narrow. But yeah, I think Blackpool will win this by 1-0 over Exeter City here. We go to the BetRight Stadium where Leyton Orient take on Wigan Athletic. Probably one of the most difficult games to call in League One this weekend. Leyton Orient losing to Huddersfield by 3-0. There, Wigan beating Northampton by 3-1. So, yeah, they'll be Leighton Orient be looking for a good response at home as their first home game of the season against a very tough Wigan side under Ryan Lowe, who showed their qualities by beating Northampton by 3-1 on the weekend. And maybe could Wigan mount a playoff charge this season? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Leighton Orient need to bounce back after the loss to Huddersfield as they got really blown away in that game. Can they bounce back? I think they will. Last season was a 0-0 draw between the sides. That was when Ryan Lowe was in charge, of course. Wigan and Leighton Orient, and then back in December it was a 2-0 win for Leighton Orient away at the DW or whatever it's called now. Yeah, this one's a really tough one to call. I think I'm just going to back a draw in this one. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Leighton Orient will get a draw against Wigan in this one, and it'd be a nice 1-1 safe bet. And yeah, Leighton Orient need a response after that 3-0 drubbing to Huddersfield. Now we head into Mansfield as they take on Doncaster Rovers. Doncaster beating Exeter on the opening day, a very, very solid win for Grant McCann's side as they beat Exeter at home. Mansfield, opposite of that, losing to Burton away, not a game you want to be losing for Nigel Clough's side. They'll definitely want to be doing a lot better than that. Their last head-to-head these guys played was a 1-1 draw on the 29th of December in 2023, and was also on the 15th of August a 2-2 draw, so it might have a draw written all over this one maybe. Burton beating Mansfield last time out, of course, and then beating Exeter. So yeah, maybe a draw written all over this. Grant McCann and Nigel Clough do decent sides, coaches at this level, sorry. So yeah, this one's a really tough one to call. Can Mansfield get the job done at home? Can Doncaster frustrate them? What do I back in this one? I'm going to back Mansfield. I think they just have the little bit more experience and at home as well in League One. So yeah, I'm just going to back Mansfield in this one by 2-1 and just narrowly beat Doncaster in this one. So yeah, I'm backing Mansfield to get over the line against Doncaster in this one just by 2-1, and Nigel Clough's side get their first win of the season. And now we go to the Six Fields, or just Six Fields in general, as Northampton take on Graham Alexander and Bradford. A brilliant start for Bradford as they beat Wycombe Wanderers at home last weekend, as Northampton didn't really get a great start by losing to Wigan Athletic by 3-1. Kevin Nolan will want a better performance from his side than that. So yeah, they will want to respond. I'm not sure if they can respond. Can they respond? In Northampton, they are one of the favourites to get relegated. Bradford also one of the favourites to be down there. But after that result against Wycombe, you'd probably say no, they wouldn't be. But we'll have to wait and see what goes on for the rest of the season, of course. Last two times these sides have played was a 3-1 win for Northampton and then a 2-1 win for Bradford back on the 29th of April. I could definitely see Bradford get 6 points here and getting a perfect start under their belts. And yeah, I'm going to back it. I think Bradford will be perfect here. I think that I'm going to back Bradford City to win this by 2-1 away at Sixfields and get over the line in this one. So yeah, backing Bradford City to beat Northampton by 2-1 away from home. And Bradford have 2 out of 2 to start the new League One campaign. Now we go to the Steve Evans derby where Stevenage take on Rotherham United. Both sides did win on opening day, Stevenage respectively at Blackpool and Rotherham at home to Port Vale. Yeah, Steve Evans derby, as I've said, Rotherham United have won this fixture 4 out of the 6 times these sides have played, of course. No, the 7 times these sides have played. Can't add up correctly. Rotherham beat Stevenage last season by 2-0 under Steve Evans, and then back in April it was a 1-1 draw after Steve Evans had left them. This one's at the Lamex Stadium. Stevenage quite good home form under Alex Revel, or Revel, sorry, however you pronounce it. Yeah, this one's a tight one to call. You probably could back a draw in this one. It would be quite a tight game between these two sides, you'd imagine. Yeah, and they've been both previously managed by Steve Evans, who will have his sides well drilled, although he didn't have a Rotherham side well drilled last season. He had a really good job at Stevenage and left it for Rotherham, and that was a horrible decision for him. In this one, I'm probably going to back a 1-1 draw just because both the sides are quite resilient defensively. Maybe not Rotherham, but Stevenage definitely so. Yeah, I think Rotherham will get frustrated by Stevenage, and I think this will be a 1-1 draw. We don't know what we expect from Matt Hamshaw and Rotherham just yet. So yeah, I'm backing a 1-1 draw between Alex Revell, Matt Hamshaw, and Stevenage and Rotherham. So yeah, a 1-1 draw between these two sides. Now into the last game of match day 2, and it is Wycombe taking on Stockport County. Wycombe losing to Bradford City in what was a disappointing opening day result for Wycombe. They'll be looking to do better under Mike Dodds at home against Stockport, but Stockport are no pushovers, as we've seen last season and the season before in League 2 as well, and beating Bolton at the weekend. And it looks like they're going to have another similar season to what they have done last season. So yeah, Stockport annihilated Wycombe last season. I think it was by 3-1, but then Wycombe beat them 5-0 at their place, didn't they? Under Matt Blinford, but it's a completely different story now, as Stockport are far the superior team in my opinion, and could absolutely roll Wycombe over here. They've still got Udo up front. There'll be no Richard Kone in this game. I think he's been linked to some Championship clubs. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I think Wycombe could be in a lot of issues here, and Stockport County could definitely roll them over quite comfortably. So yeah, I'm going to back Stockport in this one. I'm going to go for a 3-1 away win, similar to what it was, or the same as it was last season. So yeah, I'm going to back Stockport to get over the line against Wycombe in this one by 3-1 over Wycombe in this one. So yeah, back in Stockport by 3-1 here. Thank you very much for watching my League 1 Game Week 2 predictions. If you did like the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And yeah, the next video will be Championship predictions, Game Week 1, and then be Premier League predictions on Friday. So yeah, don't forget to hit the notification bell on the subscribe so you don't miss the video. So, and yeah, I'll speak to you all on the next one.